This section of the videos is going to cover various kinds of paid and also free keyword research tools. Let's get started and jump right in with 3 that can be obtained from Google. One that is not widely well known is something called Google Suggest. And do notice there is a little beta here, so they're still messing around with it. And it's not that easy to find, so I would suggest Googling Google and type in Google Suggest. And once you get here, you can actually come down here, and here's where everything changes. Watch. If I start typing G, what Google Suggest does, it starts suggesting what I might be thinking about here. So I have Gmail up here, and that's not exactly what I want it to look for. And as you see, every time I add a letter, it updates itself and it makes suggestions. In fact, there may be some great suggestions in here for the Grammys or the Grand Canyon or whatever, and I could quickly click on that or something that's related to it, and there you go. I'm all set and ready to go and do a search. But what I'm actually looking for is this, and watch how it keeps updating itself dynamically. And that is, in fact, what I want it. I want it to go to the Grayfield Inn, which is off the coast of Georgia, on an island called Cumberland Island. This is, in fact, what I wanted to research just now. So this is very, very cool. And it's free. Let me go back here a couple. And this is fantastic to do some kind of research. So the moment I type something in, maybe I want it Neopets for my children or something, and I could go to the Neopets website just like that. It's really, really great. Now, what's another tool that Google has out there? Well, here's one that's not really well known again, and this one is actually called Google AdWords Keyword Tool. Now, I find this a little confusing because a lot of you probably have heard of AdWords, the pay-per-click advertising program, right? So here you go. Here's the Google AdWords Keyword Tool, but it's not within the account, meaning you don't have to have a password, you don't have to have a username to actually get at Google AdWords. But look up here in the URL. This is where it gets a little confusing because the URL is actually adwords.google.com/select/keyword sandbox. And that has nothing to do with a phrase in the SEO world called the Google Sandbox, which is very controversial. It's kind of a penalty box for new websites. When a new website goes up, the SEO community is guessing that you can be stuck in the Google Sandbox, like a penalty box, for 6 to 8 months or more until your site ranks in Google. Well, frankly, I have not had that happen to me. I've had sites rank rather quickly, even under 3 months in some cases. So all I'm trying to say is don't confuse this Google AdWords keyword tool, which lives outside of an AdWords account, and it also has nothing to do with the famous controversial Google Sandbox penalty box. So if I come down here, I can choose all kinds of languages to search in, which is fantastic. If you're doing international SEO, I can choose different countries. I mean, this is great. It's free. So let's just pick something real quick. I'll just type in something like recording. That's what I'm doing right now, right? I am recording. And let's see what happens if I click on this box. Well, maybe I want to add one more thing, and I'll put in here something like, let me do something very random like a pen and see what happens. And we click on this little box, and we get all kinds of different keywords. Look at that. I mean, there's some great stuff here. So I've got some keywords for recording pin. It's kind of hard to find, but I thought I saw 1 or 2. But for the most part, it's actually giving me a pin and I think it's, you pronounce it Mount Blanc pin, I believe, Parker pin. So recording schools, not the best search terms that I just did. Okay, let's go back and let's just do recording by itself. Let's do that one more time and see what happens. This should be much better. All right, we go down here. There we go. This is a lot cleaner. So on the left-hand side, we have more specific words: recording studio, phone recording software, telephone recording. I mean, my goodness, look at all this stuff. These are the key words. And Google is saying these are very popular. And over here, there are similar words like, dubbing. Well, there you go. I didn't even think about the word dubbing or taping or recordings or record, I may use some of these keywords. Like right now I'm in a soundproof booth here at lynda.com. It's like a recording studio, but I guess I'm also taping, right? Or I'm dubbing. So I would use some of those keywords. And over here are additional keywords to consider. Microphone, which is right in front of my face here. So lots and lots of cool stuff. So this is the second way you can actually use Google for free to do keyword research. Now, you can have a third way, and let me just show you how that works. And what I've done is I've just closed that browser and I've swapped out, and I've gone right smack into Google's paid placement AdWords system. I do, in fact, have an account up here that I opened for $5 whole for you guys, so you can see inside of a Google account. And normally these accounts have zillions of ad campaigns sitting right here, okay, with money and clicks and all that. This is usually like some serious data going on. But the point of this is that inside a Google AdWords account, you have, yet again, tools. And there's a bunch of stuff in here, and we can go into this keyword tool right here. And it looks a little similar to the one I was just clicking in, right? But it's not. So I might actually go in here and type something like Ojai, all right? And I'll click. And it says, wait a moment. It's looking through its database. And look at this. This is where lynda.com is. It's in Ojai, California. And there's all these real cool terms. This is a really great, famous inn down the street here. And if you want to buy some property. So if I'm doing some kind of keyword research for Ojai, look at all this great stuff. And there's what's called a broad match, phrase, and exact. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the keyword section. And also, this is very fun. Watch this. Under show columns, I can actually look at these words and see what's the most popular out there on the web. What are people searching for? So right now, I'm just looking at keywords. But if I go keyword popularity, what's popular? Wow, look at this. This is great information. So now it's saying, Richard, in regards to Ojai, that one little keyword that you typed in to this keyword tool, this is the most popular phrase by advertisers. This is the most popular pay per click, paid placement keyword by advertisers. See that green? And this is the search volume. You can roll over this and click on stuff and get more information. And if we look down here, this is very popular, and the Ojai Valley Inn is also popular. So check it out. And if we want to start putting in some keywords, we can simply go over here and add them. Like this, and like this, and like this. And what's going on, you can't see it, but it's just, I'll scroll up here in a minute. This keyword tool, again, for $5 to open up a Google AdWords account, is letting me build a fantastic keyword list like that. And I can come over here and remove them. And when I'm ready, guess what? I can then simply download them to a comma-separated value Excel spreadsheet right there. I can even estimate traffic. This is great. So I don't want to take too long to go over this, but I think you get the idea. We can go through this fantastic tool that Google will let you get your hands on by simply opening up an AdWords account, and you can do a lot of research in here for $5. And you don't have to have a pay-per-click account going out there spending money on pay-per-click. You can just open the account and use this great keyword tool by Google. So to summarize, you have Google Suggest, you have the Google keyword tool that lives outside of AdWords, and you have one that's inside of the AdWords account that you can open for $5.